I'm determined to develop our community.
We design and implement activities.
I am involved in decision making.
We empower others.
We work as a team. I control my destiny.
My community, my concern.
Hello, greetings from Uganda. My name is Mabel and I'm a member of Komo Learning Center's Youth-Led Club. Komo Learning Centers Uganda is an NGO that focuses on health, education and livelihoods development. In March 2016, we formed the Komo Youth-Led Club to help the young people address the most pressing needs in their communities. Currently, we run several initiatives within the club, including peer health education, drama and entrepreneurship. We say it's youth-led club because the youth drive all activities, while Komo staff mainly provide support and guidance. In July 2016, Komo received a grant from USAID and PEPFAR to make a video series documenting the activities, successes and the challenges of our first year. I hope you enjoy it.
A youth-led club is a club where the youth are given the chance to make decisions, design activities, implement these activities, and do evaluation, as opposed to having a person sit in an office to plan and make decisions for the youth without knowing the challenges they go through and their needs.
The youth-led club is seen as a vehicle where young people will be totally empowered to be able to make decisions that affect their lives.
This is really a youth-adult partnership. It's a youth-led club that is adult-facilitated. As adults, we need to walk the fine line between being too authoritative on one hand and just throwing youth in the deep end to see if they can swim on the other hand.
Komo Learning Center, they are like our parents. We can't say that they are so more about the youth, and we can't say that the youth, they are more than the Komo Learning Centers. We are 50-50. We are working together.
The impact of the club onto the community is quite enormous. First of all, young people have been able to give back their communities in form of service projects. We have programs where young people organize themselves and do provide services that are benefiting their community where they come from.
The youth-led club has helped the youth in a way that they have acquired skills and knowledge through the trainings and workshops that they were given, and the youth have in turn used these skills to start up businesses, and some of them are even employing their fellow youth in their communities.
As per now, I can say that I am famous. Yeah. Whenever I pass, they say that is the guy who presents drama day at Komo Learning Centers.
Having gained leadership skills from the club, I can go out in the community, I mobilize and I confidently speak to them.
The Peer Health Education program has a great impact. The youth are able to come to Komo Learning Centers, gain skills, information, and knowledge regarding peer health, and then turn around and deliver it to the communities in which they grew up.
I expected that if I join that club, I will learn more, like self-esteem, because some of us do not believe in ourselves.
I expect to be supported, empowered, be given allowance if at all I put in my time and come, or maybe give an opportunity to become a leader of the members. I give them, they also offer to me. Yes.
We set limits for what we are doing so that as we recruit young people in the club, they know what the club provides to them.
Since the start of the club, we've been very clear with our expectations. And at each subsequent meeting, we readdress these expectations, make sure everyone's on the same page and we're all still in agreement. Because the focus of this club is community service, we only really provide support and resources when the projects are community-oriented.
Before joining that club, I was not confident, but I'm now confident enough to stand out and teach my fellow youths.
I want also to encourage other communities all over the world to start up such clubs, because this club has given us the opportunity to think.
Our recruitment focuses on young people who are in and out of school within the age bracket of 15 to 30 years.
We choose that age because, let me say because I'm also youth. Our minds are still fresh. We are not packed with information already, though we have a lot of information like Facebook, what.
You find a girl or a boy with 10 years wants to join the youth group. And you can't refute her not to do what? To get in, or to say that you get out. You are not a youth, yet he or she yearns to be in that youth group.
I was recruited from the church and I was given that task of helping my programs manager to recruit others to join the club.
We got some challenges, some provokes that no, those are thieves. Those they want to to press sex with our daughters, and
some families are quite skeptical about what transpires into club, so they are a bit hesitant to let their kids come and join club. So to change the perception of some of the parents who may not let their children to come and join clubs, we do invite them to come at our center to witness what we do, as we equally go down to the community and then sensitize them about the importance of letting their children join such clubs.
When we decided to move ahead with organizing the Youth-led Club in collaboration with some of the more engaged youth in the community, we wanted to create a comprehensive but relatively general structure, something of a skeleton that we would then ask the youth in the club to come in and flesh out. So I would say to organizations that are doing something similar to this, or wanting to start something similar to this, to start with a very solid plan, but also something that's very flexible and easily modified.
Youth-led Club has the Youth Advisory Council as the top leadership structure for the club, consisting of 7 members who were directly elected by all Youth-led Club members.
We introduced the issue of leadership to the club members, and then we told them to apply if they were interested in occupying any of the posts, which they did.
Will you vote me?
No.
Why?
This is for Flavia.
Ekinyambi owangula akalulu kano abalonzi bange bakonvinsinze bulungi nnyo nabo ne bakitegeera ne bampa akalulu.
I have been contesting for the post of mobilizer and I have lost to Boji Bruno and I wish him success.
Muba benali seba candidates
campaigns zaabwe tebazikoze bulungi kwadewo abajja ne batatunyonnyola ki kye bagenda kutukolera.
Some members which did not go through, they decided to depart from the club, and when they departed from the club, they went out to the community and they started spreading wrong rumors about the club.
Accept defeat, because not everyone is meant to be a leader, but once in a while if you fall, accept and get up and stand.
When you look at Nama as a sub-county, we have a population of 62,000 people. But out of the 62, according to the recently carried out census, 70% are youths.
I think it's incredibly important to involve youth in development programs, because if you don't, you're potentially leaving out 60–70% of the population that these programs are meant to serve.
We have a problem of shortage of water, inadequate water in this community. When you construct for us some boreholes, that problem can be solved.
We need security. We need nearby hospitals. We need schools and even rubbish pit. And water is stagnant, which causes diseases to us like malaria.
We have many needs, and if we don't do that needs assessment, we cannot get anything to solve. If you're carrying out needs assessment, you need to, each person who raises up his or her hand, you need to point at how, like, yeah, you're allowed. You don't need to keep that back.
It's important to do needs assessment in a club so that the youth don't end up treating symptoms instead of addressing the real pressing needs.
We held a meeting and we called all the members in the club. Then we had to ask each of them, what should we do? And we made a pairwise ranking. Yeah. We had to look out for needs and we got out one. There are many challenges because, of course, priority, everyone has his or her own priority. So, like, you cannot stand and say, I have one. You need to listen to each person's need, he or she, and then, so it is very hard. Opposition, gender also, and time.
We have different genders. So, we the girls might choose what we went with, the sanitary pad making, and it doesn't favor the boys, so you may end up conflicting or may end up insulting each other.
All the club members are included in decision making. So every youth in the club is given an opportunity to raise out the view about the given activity.
Ronald is there to guide us, but he does not actually fully participate in like coming up with final decision. He's just there to guide us, to counsel us, to help us where we are diverting off road.
This last launch of the youth-led club, we the youth, we came out with a proposal. We budgeted our budget and it was perfect.
I've never been in a club whereby we the youths or we the members are the one to run it. This is the first one and I feel really happy.
Bakulage kumonogana Sangala sachimanya Esawe tuse nawe tukuka.
Around days 13 to 15. That's on average, okay? But on these days, the egg is released from the... We really put an emphasis on trainings at Komo Learning Centers because it builds the capacity of the youth in our youth-led club, it builds the capacity of all trainers that we work with, and it builds the capacity of our staff at the organization.
Next route.
We already have youth who acquired some training on entrepreneurship. We have those who make books. We have those who make liquid soap. We have those who make candles. They were even given training on biogas making.
I'm getting the knowledge at the same time I'm getting money. I learn how to make books. At the same time, I teach how to make books in my community.
Through this financial literacy skill, I learned to just be somehow economical because I used to spend a lot. I was ever extravagant. But these days when I learned this skill, I'm like self-driven to save.
To identify the 4 groups in which HIV is found.
As Komo Learning Centers, I think one of our responsibilities is to facilitate the discussion with the youth about the training topics that they're interested in. So getting together at the general monthly meetings and prompting that discussion.
Waliwo tugayenga tulonzenga choko. Tuyinza londa choko ng'olinga mu town n'atambula. Kwa abasinga bakozesa whiteboard. Naye kati eno mu kyalo eno erukojjo. Abasinga bakozesa blackboards whereby nti kiteeka alina okukozesa choko.
We may not choose a topic which is too expensive, yet we have little money. We choose a topic depending on the amount of money we have and the impact of it to the community or to the club members.
We the youth, we are the trainers, though we get also external trainers because they come and they teach us. After teaching us, we get to know. Then if we get to know, they don't need also to call him or her for that same training.
Because we have some youth who already acquired the skills and they are doing businesses alongside those skills. So we usually prefer using them because we don't have to spend a lot of money in going to bring an external trainer.
Bwe tuteekeramu KDS, awo bwe tuteramu kala.
It's not easy because it involves a lot of planning for what you're going to do, organizing the materials you need, mobilizing the community you are to teach or you are to train. Then when it comes to the time of training, it involves a lot of talking and instructing.
Muwulira kinga temwogere. Madde munsobedde.
There's amazing training that's happening on, entrepreneurship skills and some of the technical skills, but the power has really been in the leadership skills they've been developing, in the communication skills, the critical thinking skills, around self-control. A lot of these youth were talking about the confidence they now have.
We also learned about having positive identity, where you view at yourself positively. This creates a very big impact, because when internally you have a positive view about yourself, it is reflected in your words and character.
I used to
not talk to so many people. But this time around, it's easier to me to bond with someone, even if you're a stranger. It's very simple to start a conversation with you.
I'm able to talk to various groups of people in different communities. So I just see it as it is in line with what I wanted to achieve in life. So it's just a golden opportunity.
Basically, in the design and planning of activity, I will always bring young people on board, because the essence of having a youth-led club is to ensure that there is meaningful participation.
If there are no laid out procedures of doing something, everybody would not specifically perform a task. Everybody would be doing everything on its own.
If you don't have an activity plan on how do you want to start up a business, how are you going to manage it, where are you going to get the funds, so you can't be successful without an activity plan.
Planning is a process. At times, we create an enabling environment where they bring in different input and then show them the right path on how it is really executed.
An action plan is more of your brain. It is something that you did go to school to study about. Yeah, you just come, sit, do it, and you've never done it in your life, so it is hard.
So what Kelsey does is basically to bring them on board and then build on their understanding and their strength and see how best we can really make activities more sustainable in the community.
As I said, that we have the power, but you have the network. So we can do that activity plan if you teach us how to do it.
It helps us to focus on that very goal. Like if we are to educate the young people about teenage pregnancy, we focus on that only. Until we achieve it, then we go on the other thing.
And I'm here to present the Global Action Plan for community out there. As if you're doing this, like you have 2 kids.
The goal, because we carry out sessions. For example, like HIV said, you set up the goals, objectives, energizers, hooks, so that at the time you reach in the community or in a school, you were prepared. You know, after this, I'm going on this. After this, so you follow things step by step.
The problem that we face during making a goal, setting up a goal, like you may want a very big goal, yet you don't have the resources to achieve it. You choose the small one because that's what you can manage. Yeah.
We look at the team, what can they really deliver in terms of resources, could be physical, human, could be financial resources. Then as an organization, we also contribute. For instance of sustainability, that they should be feel part and partial of the entire process. So they contribute 50 as we equally contribute 50.
When we have shows, it has to be, you have to first pay before you come. Or any organization that hires the youth-led club, they pay us. So that money is kept on our account, for sustainability. When you're writing a script, you make sure that each character can afford maybe the clothes, so that you don't go into expenses and buy. So you don't need to bring characters of a suit, put in a suit, of course, it's hard to be found.
There are some skits that we play and they are recorded. So those CDs are sold in the community. So that money that we've collected, we use that to buy the materials that we don't have.
activity implementation. This is the putting an activity designed into practice.
Simon Weatambula, walking home with Simon, thinks about the people he trusts to share his HIV status with.
It is so important to plan for implementation, because let me say we are going for a session at a certain school. You didn't plan well, you reach at a school, we did not distribute responsibilities between us. We shall confuse each other, and even the people we are dealing with will not understand us.
You have to make sure that if you're going for an outreach or to implement, you must come on time, all the team members, so that when you come on time, you're able to make your flip charts, prepare the materials that you need for the presentation, and then there you can apportion roles and responsibility, know who is doing this and that.
You should know that at some schools, some information is not appropriate. If we reach there, what if they tell us that don't talk on this topic? So we get ready for all that, even if they like change.
There are certain topics like family planning. Basically, you can't bring them in primary because, like in our country, Uganda, there is what we have the natural curriculum syllabus that these pupils really follow. So as we go there, though we have this information, we have to agree with what the government of Uganda has put in place.
I visited a certain home. A lady told, I was just teaching about nutrition, and the lady said, are you going to bring for us food? Are you going to build for us boreholes? Now information, why are you collecting our information? For what use?
The best option also could be when you come and introduce yourself, and then somebody can look at your t-shirt, then he looks at the ID. The person is, at least he settles down, so I think they are coming from an organized institution. Then they respond positively to you.
It's all about being patient, and then you explain. You give them chance to do what? To demonstrate, or give their views on what they think they know much. And then after that, you can also give your other side and correct some of the myths.
Okay, just have your seat, okay? Yeah. First of all, I would like
The games bring us together. The arts bring people together. The youth to work together must be able to come together, and they come together by things they enjoy doing.
If you're teaching about the peer health education to the community, people perceive it as it's like boring. If you talk about this drama stuff, people like making fun, laughing around.
When you put a game somewhere like a football match and you call them, most of them do what? Come, for the sake of the match, and then from there you can go in and what? Introduce some of the topics maybe on reproductive health.
Debriefing helps you evaluate yourself, how far you have gone. It makes you also have room for correction where you went wrong, because as I said earlier that nobody is perfect in presentation. We develop perfection in the course of time.
Debriefing is good when the one telling you, he or she tells in a good way, not like, now why did you do that? We told you, like that. So if like me, you tell me, no, talk about that, I will just get switched off to the information. Again, I will swallow. Yes. I'll get ashamed in front of my students. Yeah.
according to our African traditions, the thing of gender, actually the belief is that the male gender is more superior to the female gender.
You can't bring a woman to be on the same level with a man. It's God who arranged that arrangement. So I think we should be under men. Yeah.
When you go to the hospital, you're like, I need to see the doctor. Then a woman comes. Then you're like, no. You feel, unless you see a man, then you're safe.
For real.
We always have people who are gender experts come and talk to our youth and then try to address some of the negative gender norms and roles that have been a bit affecting the youth-led programs.
That training that we had some time back about where we are talking about gender. Personally, when they talked about gender, what would come in my mind was this. I think these are the advocating for feminism, to the advocating for women dominance over men.
So that session, trust me, it was a very, I think, to a certain extent, aggressive. But by the end of at least that session, we saw that at least people were able to differentiate between gender and sex. Generally, the session was very good because it opened our minds.
Through this training, we began to realize that they were actually bringing something which was so good. Now, we are not provoked when they talk about gender balance.
There are things that boys used to think that they were girl things, but after that training, at least they know that anyone, what a girl can do, a boy can do, and not to segregate activities and call this a girl thing and this a boy thing.
If I have the qualities to contest to be a chairman, I'm able to do it without people saying that a chairperson must be a man. And if like a male wants to contest to be a secretary, he is able to do it.
We have to be the same rights, same perspective in whatever, leadership, everything.
We change the kind of attitudes and norms within the club, and that can kind of filter out into the community, especially since we're doing sexual reproductive health type workshops and trainings and outreaches.
Me as being a peer health educator, it has helped me a lot because we do outreaches. So I always encourage them that if you want to get the full potential of your wife, because in most cases they really go against ladies. They think their work is to bear children and they're like housemaids. But when you talk to them and tell them that it's all about bettering one another, if you give that person an opportunity, you can get the best out of her.
So the only way we can reduce this, both at our community basis and at the global basis, is going out with the youth, taking the responsibility to preach the gospel to different genders, changing that mentality that the males outside in the community that they possess, and also trying to create awareness.
youth-led club ends up being a space that helps transition young people to successful life outcomes.
It would be good to have a variety of programs running within a youth-led club. That one who has talent can concentrate on maybe drama to develop the talent. And in that one who is business-oriented can always focus on business aspects and make it in life. And then those who have the heart for the community can go maybe to the peer health.
Because if you bring a program that is all about maybe people are so educated, my dear, remember it is a community based. So people will feel that you're leaving them out and you're choosing out the people.
I remember the first time I told my mom that now I've joined the youth-led club. He told me, "Are you out of your mind? How can you go in a club? Don't you know what transpires in clubs?"
When the club had just started, I would tell my husband, I'm going to Lukojo. But he would ask me, he didn't know what I was doing, and I think by then he wasn't even willing to listen.
You should go and talk to the husbands and to the parents of us. Maybe you can let them understand what really is going on.
The best thing is taking the forms, because as you join the club, usually there are forms you're given to sign. I think when you take those forms and you sign together, it would help out.
At times when you become too authoritative, young people feel like they are being silenced. And then we let them to do whatever they feel like, they may lose track.
It's a constant challenge for us to find that line, to figure out how much we need to give, how much should we expect from them, where we back off, when do we hand over the reins to the youth.
It's really the decision of the youth where they want to take this. If the group does stay together over the years, I think they could take complete control and start a fully standalone youth-led organization.
Those community members undermine us out of ignorance. They don't know that we can create a great positive impact.
So as we go out in the community, teach people about health, others begin to see you that you are really an asset in the community. You are bringing value in people's life.
Right? Several stories came up about club members saying how they were asked by the community different questions. They're living in the community and community members are coming over and asking for their assistance because they value the knowledge they're bringing, the support, the caring part of their approach to the community.
The way I introduce myself, I tell them I'm a peer health educator. Anything concerning health, you can always approach me. I didn't know the weight of that. When you go and talk to people out there, that is when you realize how important you can be to your community.
I've become a full package of knowledge that I'm delivering to my community. So when we interact with the people there, I often see people come home and say, "Godfrey, how do we do this thing?" So this motivates me in life. It makes me have a sense knowing that in life, I'm really a leader, and a leader with a difference because I'm unique with others. Others don't talk like me.
We are the world breakers. We are here to pursue in the world. We are here to make victory and to be good motivators of the world.
Komo Learning Centers Youth-led Club.
What are the impacts of the club to the community?
the beneficiaries, we have the youth and the community.
This video thing helps us to improve on our communication skills.
Sitting here at the panel, I gain self-confidence. This has helped me in going outreach.
I've gained experience on the camera, like in adjusting lenses, the shooting positions, how to hold the mic.
As this project started, it needed designing and planning. So it needed us to think critically.
Okay, the other time we used to be friends, but this video stuff brought us to bond with each other so close.
My best moment was to listen to my sweet voice, which is being spread out all over the world.
My best stuff is holding a camera to shoot Cassandra. Yeah.
Okay, for me, my worst moment is being left out for the first videos. Then the best moment is being captured by the camera.
My best moment was sitting on the panel on my first time. It really impressed my life too much. And my worst moment was having limited words saying when I'm seated on the panel.
My best moment is like bringing back the videos when I'm there. It is a huge success. You know, they cut you off.
The process and how KLC is approached doing these youth videos reflects the positive youth development approach they take across the board. Right? This is a youth-led club, and so the youth on day one started in the planning. How do we structure this? How do we structure ourselves to be involved in the video?
Everybody was given different roles according to his or her ability.
We're there in planning, designing. We appear also in implementing, shooting, everything. We are committed to what we are doing. So I think also that has made the videos successful. Yeah.
I thought it was going to train people, have the youth members sit in class and they are taught how editing is done, how planning is done. Little did I know that we were going to learn the things, but through participation. We're not given a script to read from.
They had told us that, you have to be you. Give us that safe space that don't pretend to be what you're not, You be as you and say what you feel it is, right.
Actually, I came to realize that our opinions are just respected.
You don't fear to give in your contribution because it will not be rejected. So that gave me psychological safety.
We became bold. We are not nervous in all this video shooting. We spoke out what we knew. I was so happy that when they invited the public, they came last time. We had a very good compliment from everywhere, the local leaders, all. Now the entire community now knows that whatever we are doing here is actually so meaningful. So even the world there, when they listen, when they watch this video, they are also being inspired by what we did.
They say these videos are going to help other communities around the world to adopt the same system. This was enough to make me put the whole of my efforts and mine into this. That is why we are here to the very last shooting.
We are moving straight to the highest. Focus, tuli babufu, Komo Learning Center, there we go. Samba. Bagala, Iwamune Komo Learning Center.
Good mobilization is good to have.
So I think contradict.
And I'm gonna say that again. Following, I'm gonna say that again. Following, I itched my face. Say that again.
No, is there anything, I know I keep moving about and I'm like, didn't hold my hands very well.
Seriously? Yes, you don't have to ask me any more questions. But you can. If you want to.